Welcome to my channel. Kindly watch, like and subscribe. The title of our story is The Rise and Fall of a Political Man and the Rewards of Wickedness.
Kemi received a call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end was calm yet commanding. "This is Chief Okon," it said. "I know you're close to Tobi. I also know he's been stringing you along. Help me, and I'll make it worth your while." "What do you want from me?" Kemi asked, her voice shaking. "Simple," Okon replied. "I need Tobi out of the way. Permanently. Help me, and I'll give you enough money to live the life you've always dreamed of." Kemi hesitated, but the promise of wealth and revenge was too tempting to ignore. "I'll do it," she said. The man with big dreams. Growing up in Gbangba State, he had always envisioned a day when he would lead his people as their governor. He was ambitious, intelligent, and knew how to captivate an audience. Everywhere he went, crowds gathered to hear him speak about his plans to transform the state. But behind Tobi's charm was a man who kept secrets that would eventually lead to his downfall. One of those secrets was Kemi. Kemi Adeyemi was beautiful, ambitious, and fiercely loyal to Tobi. She wasn't just his girlfriend, she was his confidant, his strategist, and his biggest supporter. But Kemi wanted more than just the satisfaction of helping Tobi win the governorship. She wanted the ultimate prize, becoming the First Lady of Gbangba State. Kemi poured her heart into the campaign. She used her connections to pull in influential people and secure funding for rallies. She helped Tobi navigate the tricky waters of politics, often working late into the night to plan strategies. "Tobi," she said one evening as they reviewed his campaign plan, "when you become governor, it's not just you winning. It's us. We're in this together." Tobi nodded, appreciating her efforts but inwardly conflicted. He knew Kemi's hopes were tied to a future he could never promise her. One evening, after a long day of campaigning, Tobi invited Kemi to a cozy restaurant in the city. They sat in a quiet corner, enjoying the atmosphere as the aroma of grilled fish and fried plantain filled the air. As they ate, Kemi reached for Tobi's hand. Smiling warmly, she said, "My husband, we are so close to achieving our dream. I can't wait to stand beside you as your first lady." Tobi froze. His smile vanished, replaced with a frown. He pulled his hand away and set his fork down with a clink. "Kemi, how many times have I told you? Don't call me your husband. You're just my girlfriend, nothing more." Kemi blinked, shocked by his sudden tone. "But, Tobi, I've done so much for you, for us. I thought." "I am happily married to Sod," Tobi interrupted sharply. "She is my wife, and we have a son together. I love her, and she will always be my first lady. You need to understand that." Kemi's heart shattered. But she forced a smile and nodded. "I understand," she whispered. Inside, though, anger and betrayal simmered. A few days later, Kemi received a call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end was calm yet commanding. "This is Chief Okon," it said. "I know you're close to Tobi. I also know he's been stringing you along. Help me, and I'll make it worth your while." "What do you want from me?" Kemi asked, her voice shaking. "Simple," Okon replied. "I need Tobi out of the way. Permanently. Help me, and I'll give you enough money to live the life you've always dreamed of." Kemi hesitated, but the promise of wealth and revenge was too tempting to ignore. "I'll do it," she said. The plan was simple. Kemi invited Tobi to dinner at their usual restaurant, pretending everything was fine. She dressed elegantly, her smile as radiant as ever, masking the turmoil within her. As they ate, Kemi waited for the right moment. When Tobi excused himself to take a phone call, she slipped poison into his drink. He returned, unaware, and finished his meal, praising Kemi for always being by his side. Kemi smiled, though her heart pounded with guilt. She watched him leave, knowing it was the last time she would see him alive. The next morning, Tobi's wife, Sod, found him lifeless in their home. The news spread like wildfire, plunging the entire state into shock and mourning. Kemi started spending lavishly, buying many things from the money she collected from Chief Okeo and Tobi's opponent. Tobi campaign posters being torn by the people in the community because of his demise. As weeks turned into months, Sod discovered the full extent of Tobi's financial troubles. Bank officials arrived, demanding repayment for the massive loans Tobi had taken to fund his campaign. When she couldn't pay, they seized everything, the house, the cars, and all valuables. With nowhere to go, Sod and her young son, also named Tobi, wandered the streets of Gbangba State. Once admired as the wife of a rising political star, Sod now faced rejection and ridicule. They eventually found shelter in an uncompleted building. Nights were cold, and food was scarce. Sod tried to stay strong for her son, but the weight of their struggles took its toll. Kemi, standing in front of a large mirror in her luxurious home, dressed elegantly but staring at her reflection with a look of guilt and regret. Sod fell gravely ill, weakened by hunger and stress. With no money for medicine or food, she succumbed to her illness, leaving young Tobi an orphan. The boy wandered the streets, begging for food and shelter. Once the son of a man who dreamed of leading a state, he was now a forgotten child, fighting to survive. To be continued.
Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe and click notification button to watch the next part.